Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving, goal-oriented rebel women come to learn how to live a vibrant and fulfilling life without requiring alcohol to get through it. No labels, no judgments, no saying you'll never drink again. Just real proven methods to help you stop rebelling against yourself with alcohol so you can drink less and do more. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik. Let's dig in. Welcome to episode 198, Dedication. Well, hello, my beautiful, beautiful friends. I'm in New York City right now. You might hear a jackhammer coming through. There's some obvious noise when you're staying in an apartment in New York City. But I came up here a couple days ago I love New York, by the way, to lead a VIP day for a handful of my amazing clients that have been with me for a long time. And it's just been remarkable. And today's podcast is called Dedication because of the work that is required from us sometimes to make changes in our lives. And I think a lot of times we see pictures on social media, or we read emails, or we watch movies, or we read books, and we think, oh, like, I want that, right? Like, I want that. I want what she's done. I want what he's done, they've done. And we don't see the entire journey, right? We don't see all of the failures and the frustration and the start and stops and the lack of belief in yourself and the struggles and, shit happening in lives and unexpected things happening on the way to achieving the thing that they're after. So there's just so much that happened in a very small period of time with my VIPs. It was all just so perfect and highlighted the dedication that they've had to themselves and to changing their lives. So Coach Steph was with us. Hi, Coach Steph. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Susan. Hi, Laura. Those were the amazing women who joined me for a VIP day, which was a celebration of their dedication and commitment to themselves and working with me for an extended period of time. So Coach Steph was one of my first clients in my group coaching program. She joined with me in January of 2020, okay? It's, October of 2022. So, almost 3 years she's been with me. And she thought when she joined the program, I'm going to be one of the clients that Angela can't help. That's actually what she thought when she joined my program. But she still did it, and she gave it a try because she really resonated with me, and she thought being around other women, going through the same thing would be super helpful and supportive for her. And now she works for me. She's a certified life coach. She's a badass. She's an amazing coach. She has completely changed her relationship with alcohol. She doesn't drink very much at all. I would say she's cut down. Coach Steph will have to come on and talk about it more. And she has, if you haven't listened to the podcast interview with Steph Tell, it's a few episodes back. But, 90% she's reduced how much she's drinking, if not more. She's starting her own business now. She works for me part-time, but she's also starting her own coaching business. She's just up-leveled her life, improved her relationship so much. Like, it's a major internal transformation that shows up externally. And internally, what I mean is, she was sharing a story during our time together about her going to this workout camp experience. So it's like a retreat where the main focus is like using your body and doing challenging things and, pushing yourself. And she's done this challenge for 4 years. I think this was her 4th year. And she showed up in so much confidence this time versus when she first started. And her energy was so much different, so much that people were like telling her, like, you've changed so much. Like, she won a big award at this time. It's this internal thing of like not believing in yourself and having a lot of doubt and shame about what's happening with you, into believing in yourself and feeling that and believing that you can go after your dreams, believing that you can do hard things, that you can put yourself out there. And when that happens, and that journey of that is sometimes a lot longer than people think it is, right? We think that things should be happening overnight. We think that we should have this success and like be, we join something or we commit to doing something and we're like, I'm going to work on this. And we think overnight it should be different. But we all have to remember how long we have been doing these things that we don't like or aren't good for us, like over drinking, right? So we, like, when you guys look at my story, sometimes you're like, oh, I want that. I want to have what you have. And that's like, you don't even care about alcohol. You can have so much fun without it. You go on these great adventures. You're healthy, your family, all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, that happened for me through life coaching. My journey to decide that I didn't want a relationship anymore with alcohol was 6 months, but I had struggled with it for 20 plus years. I had tried a bunch of different things before I got to that point. Okay. Like it looks like it happened quickly, but I promise you it did not. And it's the same thing with Coach Steph. Like she changed her relationship with alcohol pretty quickly, but she had tried so many things before that didn't work. And she never gave up on herself. She was dedicated to it. The same thing with my client, Susan. She came in, I think, late 2020, and she came in for 6 months. She improved her relationship with alcohol, and then she went back on her own, and she wanted to kind of absorb things and apply things on her own. And then she rejoined the program, and now she's in her second round of round 2, and she's a VIP now. And she has went, from almost a bottle of wine a night to maybe having a drink or two a couple times a month. I mean, it's remarkable. But what's more so remarkable is that she knows how to know when she's, spinning out, or pause and reflect, like what's internally going on that made her want to drink in the past. She's able to stop that, correct that, and do things that are actually supportive of her health and her goals. And to witness that as a coach, for all of these women that showed up yesterday, and for people in my program and people that send me emails, even if they're not even in the 6-month program, to witness that is remarkable for me. Like it is such an honor that I get to help and coach and guide and support these women to change their lives. Like I can't even explain what that means to me. I'm trying to hold back the tears right now. Like, if you're listening to this podcast, you need to know that you can do this, and that I have helped so many people do this, and I believe in you. But before that, you have to really just even hold on to a glimmer of hope and belief for yourself, and be dedicated to doing the work consistently for yourself over an extended period of time, and know that it doesn't happen overnight, right? Know that there's a big old behind the scenes in every transformational story that we don't get to see, because it would take, like a set of encyclopedias to explain all of the different scenarios and all of the different nuances and all the different situations that you had to work through and decide to do things differently and be uncomfortable, and the failures and all of the stuff that comes with that, right? And you're just dedicated to the end goal. You're dedicated to letting yourself have the dream that you want to have, right? And that comes with a hard path for most people, right? It doesn't happen overnight. And I think you guys need to remember that. It's dedication. I'm not following my drink plan. Okay, let me figure out why. Let me start with making a drink plan right now. Let me ask for support. Let me write down my thoughts in my journal. Let me pause and process my feelings. Let me, share how I'm feeling to my significant other. Let me ask for help. Let me take some more breaks during the day. Let me change things up. Let me move my body more. Like, there's so much that goes into it. And if you are doing it right now, you need to celebrate that stuff. You need to pause and acknowledge the work that you're doing and how dedicated you are to this transformation. Another woman, Suzanne, who came, she came to my conference this summer. She actually came to my home in North Carolina, and we had a panel discussion um, about her success in the program. She's 69 years old, 69. She drank for over 40 years. And right now she's celebrating 1 year of being alcohol free. And to decide that you want to change something in your life at that age, first of all, deserves a party and a whole celebration on its own, because most people don't. Most people be like, I'm too old to change. I might as well just settle into this. This is just how it is. This is who I am. But not Suzanne. Suzanne decided that she was going to do something about it. And she did the work, made her drink plans, just ultimately decided that, alcohol wasn't doing anything for her and she doesn't drink anymore. And she's also an entrepreneur, and she's decided to grow her business, and she helps place people in healthcare, nurses and healthcare positions for hospitals and big medical organizations. So I'm helping her now do that. Like, I'm helping her, coach her through, getting herself out there more and sharing her stuff and moving through technical stuff and building technical things for marketing. And she has not given up on herself. She is dedicated to it. And when you're dedicated to it, you take risks, you show up bigger than you have before, and it feels really uncomfortable and really scary, but you keep going and you keep working through that, and you keep asking for support, and you keep showing up for yourself. And when you do that, you have big results in the end. And it's just remarkable what she's been able to do with her dedication. And I don't even think they realize, like, I see it more than they do. I see it as this amazing, like, before and after story, because I knew them when they were not doing these things, right? And so I can witness this transformation for them. And I'm blown away every time. Literally every time I witness this stuff, it just, I can't even believe it. Like, it's crazy, like, I want to celebrate them so much. And for me to reflect that to them and to show them, we spent a lot of time doing that yesterday in the VIP day, me reflecting and for them to verbalize the work that they have done and to celebrate that and to witness that and to see that. I mean, it's remarkable. It's life-changing. It's inspiring. It's an honor and a privilege. And I'm just so thankful that I said yes and was dedicated to myself for figuring out my relationship with alcohol and being compelled enough to be dedicated to helping people. Because if I never did that, if I thought, that's not for me, I can't do that, that's for other people, that's too hard, people are going to say bad things about me, people aren't going to like me, all of that stuff, if I let that stuff get in the way, I would not be here right now. And neither would Suzanne or Steph or Laura or Susan or any of my clients or any of you people listening. It's just, I have to pause and remember that my dedication, because it's not easy. I get all sorts of shit. I'm a human being that has emotions and triggers just like everybody else. And I know how to work through that because of life coaching. And I also have a therapist. And I have an amazing network of friends and family and support and all the things that I do to help me keep going in my life. It might take more than one resource for y'all. Be open to getting more help than you think might be necessary too. And then there's Laura. Laura is, oh my gosh, another example. And I'm probably going to start crying because Wine Free Work Week is next week. And if you guys have not signed up for that, please do it. Okay, please just go sign up for Wine Free Work Week. Believe that you can take 4 days off alcohol. Seriously, give yourself that gift of coming on live with me Monday through Thursday next week on Zoom, not even on Facebook. I've changed it up a little bit. It's a little bit new content this time. If you've never done one, please go do it. Wine Free Work Week. Go click the link in the show notes. Go to my website, click on events. Go to my Facebook page and find it. Go to my Instagram at Coach with Angela Mascenik. Find the link and sign up for Wine Free Work Week Challenge. I don't care what you have going on. I don't care what's happening in your life. I do care. And I'm sorry if there's struggles and things are complicated. But that's not an excuse to not do this, because Laura, who is coming up on 2 years, okay, of working with me, she lost her son 4 years ago. So it's I think it's coming up on 6 years now. And around this time of the year, she starts to, all the emotions come up, and it's really hard for her. The holidays, the anniversary of his death, she saw my wine-free work week challenge, and she decided to do it. And she came in the wine-free work week challenge and just typed in a random comment. And she said, I don't know why I did this week. This is the anniversary of my son's death. And I've never been sober before on this day. And I wrote back to her, and I was like, Laura, you're exactly in the right place. We got you. You for sure should be here right now, and your feelings are okay. Or something to that effect. And she ended up doing the challenge and made it through. And she ended up joining my coaching program afterwards, and she completely changed her relationship with alcohol. She's, working on her healing from the loss of her death. She ended up being a mentor for me in my program. She ended up going and getting her life coach certification. And right now she's making a business to be a coach for bereaved mothers. Okay. And she's a full-time nurse, and she's working full-time, and she has a family, and she has all the things. Okay. And she showed up yesterday to the VIP day, and she has had the strongest dedication, and she feels so much better, and she can talk about her son, and she can process her feelings, and she knows how to take care of herself around that. That is remarkable to me. And her story is even bigger. Like there's so much there. I should have her on the podcast. But to see that, and her dedication through this, and she has not been perfect, of course. Like none of it has been perfect for anybody, including myself. We have to drop this idea that it needs to be perfect, and it has to make us happy all the time, and it's going to feel good all the time. It's not. I promise you, it's going to be hard, but it's worth it. If you guys can visualize yourself 2 years down the road with a dedication like the women that showed up in this VIP day with me yesterday, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Okay? It's just, and I forgot to mention that Susan has put in her notice for retirement, something that she has been wanting to do for 2 years, and finally feels internally able to go do that and have her own back on her own goals and dreams. And she's going to be traveling, and she's got a whole vision for what she's going to be doing next year to live her life for her. You guys all deserve to live your life for you, for yourself. It's your life. And if you have kids and you have relationships and you have aging parents and all that, of course, I'm not saying you shouldn't take care of them or you shouldn't make them a priority. But making yourself a priority first so that you can help those people more and show up and model what it looks like to take care of yourself for those people is even more important. Okay? It ripples into the other relationships in your life when you guys do this stuff and you put yourself first and your health as a priority and your goals as a priority. One of the other things we did was I'm very much into walking in the woods, as you guys know, and being outside in nature, and forest bathing, where you go out and you use no technology and you just observe the smells and the sights and the textures and the everything that the woods and the trees and the wildlife have to provide you, right? We're so disconnected. We are so disconnected as a society from nature. And nature has so many lessons for us. It's very good for us to go out and breathe the fresh air and to be around trees and life and cycles of life and all of that. And so after our celebration session in the VIP day, I led them into a forest bathing experience in Central Park. And if you are around here or have ever been to Central Park in New York, it's a huge park in the middle of Manhattan. Okay, it's not quiet. It's beautiful. It's huge. There's so many things to see and do. But I wanted to do a city forest bathing experience because Not everybody lives in rural areas with access to woods and trees. You can do this anywhere. And so we did it for 30 minutes, no talking. We're just walking through slowly, quietly observing. We laid on rocks. There was a helicopter literally right above us, like above the opening in Central Park that we were on, laying on this rock. And it was really interesting when you just observe and you listen and you notice what comes up. So I do this a lot. So I'm like, okay, I'm here, I'm laying on this rock. It feels very grounding. And with all the chaos that's happening out there, I know that I can come back to myself, right? And that's what I teach my clients to do. No matter what's happening externally, you know how to come back to yourself and connect with yourself by processing your feelings and naming how you feel and grounding yourself, right? And this forest bathing experience did just that. It was all the noises, sirens, helicopters, people, kids, dogs, honking, all the stuff, right? And we got to witness nature and trees thriving in that environment. And one of the exercises I did was I taught them about like how I talk to trees. And I know it sounds totally whack, and that's fine if you guys think it's crazy, but it has lessons. I promise you, if you go do it, it will help you. The trees are magical creatures. And so when I find one that I'm like, ooh, I want to kind of connect with that one, I walked up to it and I touch it and I kind of listen, I close my eyes and I get its energy. And then I'm like, okay, what do I need to know? And it was really interesting. The tree responded, and this is just, I'm hearing this in my own mind, but it says, let yourself grow. Let yourself grow. What if you let yourself grow? And I was like, oh yeah, like how can you grow and thrive in this environment? And it was like, I just focus on myself. You just focus on what you need to do and let yourself go after it. And it was pretty profound. So it's like when that tree, all it has to do is make sure it gets its nutrients, right? Sunshine, water, right? It's protected, right? There's fences and things so people aren't cutting it down. People aren't allowed to cut it down and infringe on it, right? What if we did that for ourselves, took care of ourselves, let ourselves go after the things that we actually want to do? We are our biggest obstacles, right? It's not anybody else. It's us and our internal dialogue that says we can't do something, or that's too hard, or I don't want to, when you really actually do. What if you were to let yourself go after it? What would happen, right? You guys, you have a life. And if you let yourself go after things, you will be blown away at what is possible. And you'll want to keep going and keep doing bigger and more exciting things, okay? I'm somebody, I'm starting my 5th year in business now. You guys, when I was working on this on myself, working on my relationship with alcohol, if you would have told me that I would have led a VIP day in New York City in a really nice Airbnb and hosted lunch and had catering and deep dive coaching sessions and a forest bathing experience in Central Park and steak dinners and a off-Broadway show afterwards, like, you guys, I would have been like, you're certifiably crazy. That's not me in my life, okay? So after the forest bathing, we shared, they had beautiful things that they shared. Laura found a heart-shaped rock, like they all received messages. I mean, it was just amazing. So we went back and changed for dinner, and then we went out for dinner. It was beautiful steakhouse, Charlie Palmer Steakhouse in right around the Broadway, Times Square area. And then we walked down to this theater, kind of held in a smaller theater production. Lisa Pezic is her name. I will link up her Instagram and stuff in the show notes, but we saw a one-woman show. And this one-woman show was called Too Big for Her Britches. And it was her story of self-love and overcoming childhood trauma. And I got connected with her from another colleague that I know, and she actually does some coaching she does some branding and marketing for entrepreneurs, but she also decided 1 year ago that she wanted to be on stage. Okay, she had no training as an actress, no voice training. She wrote and produced all of her own music. She sang. She did like 20 different personalities in this one woman show. It was 75 minutes long. She now has a Spotify soundtrack to it. I'll link all this stuff up in the show notes. But it was profound about what you can do when you can get out of your way. So anyway, Lisa, the amazing actress and person that she is, I was connecting with her before the show. She helped me get, my VIP tickets and all the things. And then I invited her to come to coffee and dessert after with me and my clients. And she did. And we got to ask her questions about how she did it. And she shared more of her story and like how she overcame her shit and decided to go for it. And she has been touring now. She lives in Canada. She's been to Hollywood. She's got multiple awards already. She's dedicated to her craft and to making her life better and healing and all of it. And I promise you, we can do a lot more than we think we can. When we see these kind of stories, remember the dedication it took to get there. It doesn't happen overnight. And I think we quit on ourselves a lot of the time when we're like, well, I'm not there yet. And we start comparing ourselves to the other people who have done the work and are like 2 years ahead of us or whatever, right? You will get there if you don't quit. So stop quitting on yourself. Let yourself go after your dreams. Get out of your own way. Believe that things are possible for you. Okay? Believe in yourself and start doing things on a daily basis that will help you get to where you want to go. So I'm dedicated to you. I'm dedicated to this podcast. I'm dedicated to myself. I'm dedicated to helping as many women as possible stop over drinking and start living the lives they were meant to live. And yesterday was just a culmination of that. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity for it and that I'm dedicated to that and I won't ever stop. Like I really know that I won't ever stop because it's worth every ounce of energy, money, time, energy, pain, obstacles that I have to go through to witness a handful of women change their lives. And I want you to believe in yourselves. I want you to be dedicated to yourself because you just got one shot, y'all. Make it the best you possibly can. You deserve a life that's not numbed out. You deserve to feel. You deserve to be alive. You deserve to take yourself on wild adventures and figure things out and have memories and stories, okay? I love you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And remember that our 200th episode is coming up, 2 more episodes, and I want to hear from you. If I've helped you, I want to hear from you. Send me an email, hello@angelamascenik.com. I would love to read your comment, how I've helped you. I don't need to share your name if you don't want to. You can also support the podcast by leaving an iTunes review about how it's helped you. More people will listen to the podcast. More women get helped. More women change their lives. And we need that in our world right now. We need women to become become unnumbed so that we can start living lives and helping change things. We do. So thank you. Sign up for Wine Free Work Week. You'll get me every day, 4 days in a row, live, direct support. Okay? Sign up. Find the link. Do it. And I'll talk to y'all next week. I love you.